And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gem of the Crypto, episode 779. Today is Wednesday, August 18, 2021, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today's top stories: Robinhood shareholders want crypto wallets and a hat. White Hat potentially saves SushiSwap $350 million by finding obvious exploit. Minneapolis Fed President Kashkari on crypto market, thousands of garbage coins. And Treasury Department wants to capture DeFi with infrastructure bill, says Jake Chervinsky. And last but not least, the Ukrainian ministry considering digital currency pilot for staff salaries. But first and foremost, of course, is go ahead and take a look at these prices using you all's favorite, none other than CoinMarketCap. Bitcoin's coming in at $45,245, down 2.37%. Ethereum's at $3,052.19, down 5.42%. Binance, number three, $399, down 6.57%. So as you can see, it's a red day across the board. Cardano slipped below $2, now $1.98, down 4.27%. Ethereum at $1.11, down 6.61%. As you see here, Dogecoin at 29 cents, down 9.79%. It's crazy that Dogecoin found a floor at like 25 to 29, 20 cents anyway. Regardless, it's pretty crazy. Last but not least, Solana. Again, we've been talking about Solana nonstop. Yesterday, I think it was at like 70, 71 bucks. Today is at $78, 79. You just saw up 15.39%. Don't say you didn't hear it from us, like literally back to back. If you've been playing Solana the last week and a half, listening to us, your portfolio, well, just from the week, it says it should be up 82%. But let's say you got in and out, like at least half of that, 40% on your portfolio from those calls. And like literally, I have not heard anyone else as far as in the market like that calling for Solana the way Bitcoin Zay and I have. And again, if you would just jumped on it from yesterday's show to today's show, you're up right now 15.4%. So again, that's still in price discovery. So that price could go down, could go up. A Wheezy, a Wazi, a Floozy. It can go any direction, right? But right now, we do think that may be one of the Ethereum killers, especially with the team behind it. So we will continue to watch Solana and see how that comes about as well. All right, before I jump into these stories, let me jump into these comments. See, Wendy Thomas says, is it too late to buy Solana? So like I said, it's a dangerous time right now because it's at its all-time high and it's kind of entering price discovery. However, with the hype around it, I mean, it's very possible for it to reach $100. So, I mean, not necessarily right now. And also, pardon me if my computer shakes. I'm over here clicking on everything alone. Of course, Bitcoin Zay isn't here. He's getting some stuff ready for the CoinDesk show as well as the meetup. Again, we will be having a meetup this Saturday at the Mondrian, LA from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. Then after that, they will tell everybody while we're there where the after party is at. It'll be local as well. But that's if you can hang, because that 8 to 12 meetup, probably by like 11 p.m. I'm going to stop talking crypto. I'm just going to get to drinking. So we'll see what happens with that. What's going on? Crazy BX Dom, Addy A, Milto, Consulting Geeks, Ashley Robles 001, Timothy Grigsby, Rodney Green. And you know what? Shout out to Eric Brooks and some of the other people who commented yesterday about Alex Saunders' video. I guess people were following him for, since 2017 or 2018 or whatever. He did some good TA and FA, it sounds like. But as Eric pointed out, he was just a victim of his own greed, as they say, getting high on their own supply. That margin trading, gambling, I guess, actually caught up to him. So regardless of what happened, it sucks to see that happen and for him to lose other people's money. Regardless of how good TA and FA he did, it didn't turn out well at the end. And it looks like this may be the end for him. What's going on, Rodney Green Jr.? Paris, DC, Ali Pio, Jadadi, St. James, Ron B. Hello. Eric Horton, Cryptonomics, everybody's in the house. Good morning. Yes, our project experience at Gem and Crypto, you are all gangsters with Solana. People, again, look, Mankey 90 said, I'm on Solana because of you guys. There we go. Listen, only reason we want to point that out is the way we used to we'll throw out stuff like that. If you look at some of our old videos, we threw out a lot of nuggets, but we usually just ignore it and don't bring it back up again. But we realize, since we don't have a TA channel and since we don't keep an Excel sheet where we're keeping score, we forget about it. But no, we got to make sure we keep scoring this stuff too. Like literally a week and a half, we just gave a lot of people 80% plus in their portfolio. Like it is what it is. All right. Top story. of the day as this computer keeps checking. Robinhood is in the news. There we go. Let me see if I can get this thing in the shop check. Robinhood shareholders want crypto wallets in a hat. That is right. Currently, users of popular stock and digital currency trading app Robinhood can't move their crypto off the platform. One more time, currently, users of popular stock and digital currency trading app Robinhood can't move their crypto off the platform. That is because it is not your crypto, not your keys, not your coins. We keep saying that. When it comes to Robinhood, PayPal may have enabled it, but I don't think so yet. More than likely, Venmo, since they're owned by PayPal. All these different places, you don't own the cryptocurrency, you don't own the Bitcoin. You essentially are receiving an IOU in form of paper, kind of like the US dollar for gold. You remember the US dollar, if you read it, it's a promissory note that guarantees you however much back from the bank, where it used to be backed by gold. Dollars were saying, hey, this is how much gold that you have stored for you in the bank. You can redeem it with this paper money. That was the only reason for paper money to redeem gold. We got off the gold standard and paper money was backed by bullets and bombs. Fast forward now to Bitcoin, and you have the same play being ran where it's just like, yeah, you got Bitcoin on our platform. It's like, oh, can I get it in my own wallet? They're like, no, you can't. You can get dollars back if you want. You can have dollars for your Bitcoin, essentially IOUs, but you do not own that Bitcoin. So retail shareholders of crypto-friendly, I can't believe they're calling this crypto-friendly. Cointelegraph, who is this writing? Erhan Karaman, you know better. You know better. If you're writing for Cointelegraph, you know better. But retail shareholders of trading app Robinhood are demanding a crypto wallet along with a branded hat and a hoodie, a public shareholders questionnaire revealed. Now, to me, this is the reason why the space does lag and is looked at as being immature, volatile, and all this other stuff, because you're asking for something that makes totally sense, a crypto wallet. At the same time, you're asking for a branded hat and hoodie. Like, really? Do you want your digital gold or not? Do you want your Bitcoin or not? Like, let's not come talking about financial issues then at the same time. Be like, hey, what's up with that swag though? Like, I heard y'all got Bitcoin shirts in here. Like, that part doesn't matter. Let's focus on the tech first. Let's focus on getting a wallet. Let's focus on getting your Bitcoin first. But it looks like the public question crowdsourcing platform Say, which was Robinhood's first purchase after it went public, I guess this is a big mistake by them, enabled retail shareholders of Robinhood to ask and upvote questions in a Reddit-style interface. Management will address a selection of the most upvoted questions related to Robinhood's business and financial results on the earnings call, Say explained. Now, again, for most businesses, this would be good, transparent businesses. But we know financial businesses usually are not transparent, especially Robinhood. We know they're not transparent. Like, my top question would have been, why did you stop GameStop and AMC trading? Like, those are the questions I want to know from Robinhood, right? But I'm glad they went after, or they're asking questions on this platform. I guess it will help with transparency, even though they probably won't answer them all like you want. But the top question directed to the Robinhood management by retail shareholders as of Wednesday was about introducing a crypto wallet within the trading app. The question is Robinhood getting a crypto wallet, was shared more than 151 and 500,000 times and received over 1,600 votes. And then they also asked, of course, after the wallet, if they can get a hoodie jacket as an initial investor. Can we get a Robinhood hat and hoodie jacket? Like, to me, that says that initial investor probably invested $5 for them to ask that question. Again, at the same time, when the question about crypto wallets are also being asked. It just doesn't make sense to do both. But that was the fourth most popular question, so people are asking about it. But again, the main question, will Robinhood get crypto wallets, right? In the short term, I would say no, because of KYC, AML, and other things. They probably don't want to introduce that. And by and large, even if they could give it to you, even if they want to give it to you, even if they have the proper compliancy procedures in place, which they probably do, because they have the traditional side of financial house going, they don't want to. It's better for them to keep the Bitcoin so they can do whatever they want with it. Because the absolute worst case scenario for Robinhood is for them to tell a bunch of users in crypto that they don't have their Bitcoin. And the very worst that can come out of that is a class action suit that might take 3 to 5 years realistically for it to even touch Robinhood. So for Robinhood, Venmo, PayPal, and all those type of companies and organizations that's not giving you your crypto, that's why they literally have no incentive to give you your crypto, because to them, you're not even buying it the right way. All right. You're not buying it and storing it the right way. You're doing crypto all wrong, bruh. Like you are literally doing this whole thing wrong. The people who have implemented these programs at these organizations know you're doing it wrong because you're buying it from them. Like they're literally like, holy shit, these people keep buying Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies from us, and they're not even moving it off our platform. They're not, we don't even have the option to, and they still come in and buy like crazy. Like it's actually laughable for these companies that you continue to buy Bitcoin from, because again, they have no reason to give it back to you. They have no reason to give you your private keys. And until this questionnaire came out, no one was making a public fuss about it. So again, I don't see them doing it anytime soon. I think if and when they actually do it, when they give you your own wallet or allow you to move the crypto off the app, they're only going to do it because of competition, right? It'll be one of those things where why can't I do it on this platform and every other platform I can? I think they'll do it for reasons of competition and capitulation, but I don't think they're going to merely just go along and say, hey guys, if you want to move your Bitcoin over a platform, feel free. Like, no, MicroStrategy and Tesla has already came out and shown you that they're using Bitcoin as a reserve, right? As a reserve currency to fight inflation. So if two of the biggest companies out there are using Bitcoin as a reserve, what makes you think financial companies like Robinhood are not doing it, even though they're not allowing you your access to your wallet? Like they definitely are. Oh, crypto culture. Thanks, Kenzie said, I keep seeing King. Oh, you didn't just throw that on there. Come on. I keep seeing King on this IG Shades ad. LO, I know someone is famous. Ha ha. Hey, come to LA Saturday. It's going to be a party. All right. It's going to be turned up, people. You get to see me in real life. Bitcoin Benito said Robinhood, still from the rich, still more from the poor. I mean, that's basically what it is at this point. Nerd Up Incorporated Marv, what's going on? Said peace. Great content. Can't stay long at work, but I'm paying a light text. Much appreciated. It's Rowing said, I have Robinhood, but I just use it for fiat to pay my mortgage. Hey, listen, it is definitely some, with all these apps, there's plus and minuses of all of them, right? And I always say, it's good to have multiple apps, because when the price of Bitcoin is either it's very low and it's dumping, or it's like literally going through the roof at all-time highs and it's pumping, platforms will start to disable you depending on where your limits are at, like buy limits and sell limits. They'll disable the smaller ones, or they'll make it harder, or the websites will be jammed up, congested, you can't get on. So it is advantageous to have multiple apps and wallets, right? But when it comes to Robinhood, unless you're doing things on the traditional side, it's the same with PayPal. It just doesn't make sense because, again, they keep everything. Or like JB said, Robinhood is like Debo. It's both our bike, but we'll keep it at my house. Exactly. It's my bike, pump. You know what's up. That's that's how Robin is. Like, hey, can we get this? Can we get our Bitcoin and crypto back? Bitcoin and crypto. It's my Bitcoin, pump. You know that ain't happening. Logic Spirit, thank you for the tip. Said, ain't no wallets bit. Hey, you already know. Post Chain Poppy says, post wallet is coming soon. MetaMask, who? All right. Leroy Forbes said, are they surprised that they can't move it off? I mean, that isn't a new thing, right? Exactly, that is not a new thing. So it's crazy to see that as well. Paris said, I wonder how long the Solana run will go through. Listen, we are all wondering how long Solana is going to run. Again, I think 100, 120 isn't out of the question. Dominic Brown, can you talk more about crypto in the metaverse space? Yeah, we jump into the metaverse on the masterclass. Also, we talk about the metaverse many times here when it comes to Decentraland and all that other stuff. So definitely stay tuned. We always talk about the metaverse on here. Lift Hunt Game, what can we get out of the meetup? We fly in. I'm thinking about attending. So by and large, the meetup is really just, as it sounds, this is a regular Bitcoin meetup. We're just spicing it up a bit. So unless you literally want to fly in for like a day or two, do some stuff in LA, brunch and all that good stuff, then it probably will not be worth it by and large. Unless, like I said, if you got the free day and the money is relative to you, then come on down and have a good time. But if it's like, what am I getting out of this? Like a conference, it's not going to be like that. We're trying to get some of the Hollywood elites to come out on Saturday, as well as regular crypto enthusiasts, as well as other crypto businesses and other regular businesses in the LA space. So it's really going to be beneficial for people in LA more than anything else. But we've been talking about it more, and we are planning to do a Gentleman of Crypto tour eventually at some point. So that will be happening, hopefully this year as well. All right, talk about Robinhood. This was a very interesting story, especially on the heels of all these hacks. White hack potentially saves SushiSwap. I never can say SushiSwap. So say it 3 times, 5 times straight. SushiSwap, I can't do it. White hack potentially Oh, it's the saves part too. You got to say save SushiSwap. Say that 5 times. White Hat potentially saves SushiSwap. I can't say it. Saves SushiSwap $350 million by finding obvious exploit. Again, this is what's crazy about the DeFi space, people. This is why projects, even like SushiSwap, which of course is essentially like a copy of Uniswap, why they are even finding still exploits in that project. And that, while it's not been out for a very long time, in relation to other DeFi projects, it's getting old, right? It's crazy because it's probably only like a year old or some change, and it's getting old already. 1 year in crypto must be like 2.5 years. We all know that from the amount you have to read and catch up. But the security researcher found a flaw in a Dutch auction smart contract that could have resulted in the loss of 109,000 Ethereum. The SushiSwap decentralized exchange has narrowly avoided becoming the latest DeFi hack victim thanks to assistance from a white hat hacker. A security researcher from venture capital firm Paradigm, which I've actually heard of a few times, known on Twitter as Sam CZ Sun, has managed to save SushiSwap and its Miso platform from a potential loss of as much as 109,000 Ethereum. Now, technically, this is the way I'm reading the story. It would have been really SushiSwap as it would have been a smart contract on the platform, which is very different, but it still would have been a big hit, right? In a blog post published on Tuesday, the programmer described how he began examining the smart contract code for the BitDAO token sale on SushiSwap's token launchpad platform, Miso. And shout out to this person at Sam CZ Sun. Shout out to this hacker here, this white hat hacker. I want to point out that between them and the polyhat and hacks in the past, like this was so cool about the space when you're talking about open source software, people sharing information, trying to make everyone better. This hacker did it. I mean, they could have, even as a white hat hacker, they could have just showed the team what they did, told the team. Instead, they share it with the public. That is what I love about this space, about the crypto space. When you talk about technology, open source stuff, how quickly things advance. This is why things advance, people. It is a very simple proposition. Share your information. Other people can learn from it and come up with new ideas and make things accelerate, right? You can create things faster, become more efficient, effective, etc. But in the old way we have, in the old legacy, the old guard, think about banking. Wells Fargo is going to do it like this. Bank of America is going to do it like this. JP Morgan Chase has his own pot of secrets, right? Same thing with these apps. PayPal is going to do it this way. Robinhood is going to do it this way. Cash App's going to do it this way. And literally go to the medical system. This hospital is doing it this way. This state's doing it this way. This state's doing it that way. And all at the same time, no one is sharing that information. They're all saying this is proprietary. This is ours. This is for our business. This is not for everyone. Well, in the crypto space, in this part of the tech space, people share. Hackers say, hey, this is how we did it. We saw the AMA with the Polygon person explain it. And from this, future projects, this is how they already come out the gate sometimes stronger and with a lot of hype. It's because they say, hey, we're going to be much better than project X, Y, and Z that was exploited or almost exploited because we don't have those issues. And it's like, yeah, you don't, but you don't have those issues because you looked at this project as they were getting exploited and said, hey, we're going to fix it as we go. So that's one of the reasons why, again, these newer projects get the hype. But again, I want to point out that these hackers are actually coming out, showing you how this actually happened. As you see here, the hackers being quoted as saying, I didn't really expect this to be a vulnerability though, since I didn't expect the Sushi team to make such an obvious misstep. Again, as much as some of these projects have or some have not been audited, they are still in beta. They are still brand new. And again, this is what we keep saying about the next big project. It's like, wait until your next big project jumps into the top 10, the top 15, the top 20. Wait until your next big project gets the attention of infamous hackers from security firms, or even worse, nefarious hackers, right? Wait until you get that type of attention. Wait until you have the scale at the same time. Wait until your network's congested. Wait until the regulatory authorities are coming after you. Wait until all that's happening all at one time to really stress test your project to see if the code actually holds up. And oftentimes it just doesn't. It's just too much going on. He's also quoted saying, suddenly my little vulnerability just got a lot bigger. I wasn't dealing with a bug that would let you outbid other participants. I was looking at a $350 million bug. Essentially, he discovered that a hacker could steal the funds from the contract by triggering a refund by sending a higher amount of Ethereum than the auction hard cap. Again, very innovative ways to get around these smart contracts. And that is the thing with the smart contracts. It's code, right? If it isn't written properly into the code, then there are small little things like this that you may be able to do, which it looks like he found out you could do. For example, from a technical point of view, how would you patch this, or how would this be fixed to begin with? Is as easy as again, you write into the code. If this happens, then this happens. As far as Ethereum, like if a higher bid than the auction hard cap happens, then no transaction will happen at all. Like this is all stuff that can be coded into the project. So it's crazy that they didn't see it. But when you talk about the different amount of variables you have to code and account for, there are literally countless amounts. So this was about doing those security audits. It's about finding the white hackers that come around and say, hey, you have an issue and here's how to fix it. So again, this was pretty good to see. It's crazy that this happened. Again, it could have been a $350 million loss coming off the SushiSwap platform. While that will not have ended crypto, that may have actually smacked it around for half a day, a full day, because a lot of people are on SushiSwap. So again, that's not good to see. And here you can see here's the actual write-up of it. Paradigm, two rights might make a wrong. And they go into the encounter, the discovery, disclosure, preparation, the rescue, and reflection. Literally, they break it down, even at an entire table 942, 944. And again, this, like I said, look at the code. I mean, this is this basic stuff that they're actually putting in here from the different command lines that they had in the code. So as you can see here, I didn't really expect this to be a vulnerability since I didn't expect it to make such an obvious misstep. Sure enough, as you can see, the function validated that the contract had not already been initialized, and they go into all the discovery. And it's crazy too. I mean, when you look at the timeline, 9:42 a.m. The last one, he does a reflection at 4 p.m. Let's say the rescue is at 2 p.m. So literally 3 or 4 hours, this person could have had access to $350 million in Ethereum. And all at the same time, bug bounties are offering these hackers $10,000, $5,000. But the United States government is offering them, $10,000 or $100,000. Like, disrespectful, okay? That is just disrespectful. I want to point that out. These guys and girls can make away with millions of dollars. They better be respected as such. And yes, PFC Wales, community policing. That's what I'm talking about. That's my thing too, is this, everyone keeps talking about regulations. Like, even with regulations, we see in the traditional market, like, there's still gonna be bad actors. There's still banks getting fined every month. There's still bank robbers. There's a war on drugs. There's still people selling drugs. That's never gonna stop. Hell, in Portland or Oregon, isn't it legal now? Half the drugs have been decriminalized, right? So my point is, like, there is no regulation or group of regulations or bills that will stop anything that can happen in crypto from actually happening, right? If anything, it's going to be like a lot of gun laws. It's going to stop good people from getting it. I agree that, again, self-regulation actually works in the space. As many bad actors as you see, there are just as many positive actors, right? There's just as many good YouTubers as there are bad YouTubers and scammers, right? Or I won't say just as many, but there are YouTubers out there reporting on this stuff. There are white hat hackers saying, hey, there's been an issue with your code. Let me help you fix it. So I'm all about self-regulation. We've shown that it can work. And this is right now, looks like it's working here in real life. So we'll see what happens. There we go. Alipio said their plans to get here Thursday afternoon, leave Sunday. There we go. Listen, right now, it looks like we got a lot of people coming in Friday for the masterclass and leaving Sunday as well. So yeah, I mean, again, it's going to be a good night, and I'm sure the night's great. Then we'll do something the next day as far as a brunch or something, just kind of like off cuff or whatever. We'll kind of figure it out. Let's see. Too much for you. Okay, said that's why OPR got hacked a few years ago, and they're a hack exposed every person that works for the federal government. It's funny, but it's messed up because you don't want the government people's lives to be at risk for sure, or them to get trolled 24/7. But for those elected officials, like I keep saying, molasses and feathers, catch them when they're coming out the courthouse or something. All right. Minneapolis Fed president is back in the news. We actually heard from him before. Kashkari on crypto market, thousands of garbage coins. I have not seen any use case other than funding illicit activities like drugs and prostitution, the central banker said. All right, like Bitcoin Zay literally just did his book tour at the strip club, shout out to Platinum in Atlanta. And from what he was telling me, many people didn't know about cryptocurrency, right? And not to say that drugs and prostitution, like, only happens at strip clubs, whatever. I mean, to be fair, they are kind of hotbeds depending on which clubs you're at. But I just got to push back against that because people, like, for one, the prostitution side, you think it's a bunch of Johns at their car, like, hold on, let me pay you in Bitcoin, let me pay you in Monero. Like, cash is still king. Like, get out of here with that. Cash is still king. And then on the drug side, it's still not happening, actually. Like, and here's my thing. When it comes to this, I want to ask people like Kashkari, like, how do you know about this drugs and prostitution being used for crypto? Like, how do you know this? Like, is this coming from a first person anecdotal experience? Because that's the only thing I can think of. For those who actually know drug dealers or talk to some of them, actually, a lot of them don't trust crypto still because it's technology. Like any other thing, like when it comes to technology and crimes, like people don't like it. They don't want to talk on the phone. They're not trying to send you nothing to leave no digital trace, whatever. In fact, Cash App and Venmo is just now starting to become popular in the underworld the last year or two, I'll say 2 or 3 years, where people are starting to Cash App each other's stuff, but they're starting to get jammed up for doing that. So I have to disagree with that. I mean, not just anecdotally, but also from the actual numbers, stats that have come through, say only 1 to maybe at most 2% of cryptocurrency is used for illicit activities. So again, I have to ask, where is he getting these numbers from? He's making them up off the top of his head. And again, this is why people don't trust the Federal Reserve, people. There it is. You just can't come out lying about whatever. But the Federal Reserve official who famously reassured the U.S. public last year that the central bank could inject unlimited money into the economy. Yes, that's him. The person who told the American population that the central bank could inject unlimited money into the economy has voiced some well-worn off-rebuttal criticism of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. I mean, could you imagine that, people? What would be the price of Bitcoin tomorrow if today we was like, hey, you know what? We changed the code. We can print as much Bitcoin as we want. Now it really isn't backed by anything, right? We can print, listen, we said it was going to be 21 million. You all complained. We heard you. It's too expensive. Everyone can't get their hands on it. We're doing a 21 billion Bitcoin airdrop tomorrow, right? Tomorrow morning, everyone's going to get at least 1 Bitcoin, everyone on the planet, right? We're doing a $6.9 billion Bitcoin airdrop. Like, come on, people. What would be the price of Bitcoin? Like, literally, what would be the price of Bitcoin tomorrow if a $21 billion airdrop happened? So why, like, it's, to me, again, it just doesn't make sense about why people aren't all the way on board with Bitcoin right now and cryptocurrency as a whole, because when you just look at the code, it makes sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to airdrop $21 billion of Bitcoin because the price would drop down there to zero, but it does make sense to drop whatever it was. I don't even know the number now, with $200 billion worth of cash to people. Like, you literally airdropped it in the form of a stimulus package and PPP loans. So $1 isn't $1. 1 Bitcoin is 1 Bitcoin. And this is why you see the fluctuations. It's not Bitcoin fluctuating, it's the dollar that's fluctuating as they keep printing and doing whatever, as the Federal Reserve official said. He's also being quoted as saying, I was more optimistic about crypto and Bitcoin 5 or 6 years ago. People, key in on this right here. This is what I keep saying. They keep trying to steal the narrative. What person in the government, the United States government, was talking about Bitcoin 5 or 6 years ago, but you're optimistic about it then? So let's really talk about this. This guy works for the Federal Reserve Bank. You were either already doing something illegal 5 or 6 years ago, or were you just sitting on the sideline? What was 6 years ago? Was that 2015? Was it 2015, 2020? Yeah. So you're telling me in 2015, Bitcoin's at $200 and something, right? $300. And from watching it in 2015, from $300, go to 20,000, back to 3,000, up to 66,000, down to 45. You just watched it and you're just optimistic the whole time. Like, I'm calling cap. You are lying your ass off. Either you knew about it then, you're actually involved in crypto then, or you didn't know about it. And again, this is the second lie in literally 2 paragraphs. But I was more optimistic about crypto and Bitcoin 5 or 6 years ago. Neil Kashkari, president of the Federal Reserve Bank of Minneapolis, said Tuesday. So far, what I've seen is 95% fraud, hype, noise, and confusion. Again, this is a banker of the Federal Reserve. Bitcoin's direct competition. I won't even say competition. Bitcoin is the direct competition to the bank, because the bank is not competition to Bitcoin, but their direct competitor The president of that bank is coming out saying, hey, I saw this software that made sense 5 or 6 years ago, but our bank decided not to invest in it or to deploy the software. And instead, we decided to keep charging you fees, exorbitant fees. Was it $35 or something every time you overdraw your account? Oh, and at the same time, we decided not to invest your money in this asset class from when they were watching it, went from possibly $250 to eventually $20,000 and then $66,000. They decided to sit on the sideline that entire time without investing or optimizing the software, even to today. Like, again, you're either in on it or you're incompetent, but either way, like, I'm not listening to this person. I'm not sure how they keep making headlines, but the one saving grace, the things that they did say, and this is a crazy thing, unless he was virtual signaling to like kind of give us all a heads up, he actually said he's actually doing the opposite of what he's intending to do as far as his messaging. He also said there is no barrier to you creating your own Bitcoin or me creating my own. I'll call it Neocoin, he said, pointing to his on stage, I don't even know that word, interlocutor, Larry Simpkins, CEO of the conglomerate, the Washington companies. Kashkari added, and then Larry can create Larry Coin. Well, actually, Neil Kashkari, you got it right. That's the power of cryptocurrency. That's why everybody loves it. It's called freedom. I don't know. Let me say it one more time. It's called freedom. Freedom. Yeah, you can create a coin. I can create a coin. Every American, every foreign person, every person in Afghanistan right now, the Taliban, everyone can create a coin. And what we're going to do once everybody creates these coins is we're going to let the global market decide, right? Its value, and every human, through a democratic process of just choosing software, can decide which project they want to use. So yes, that's called freedom. It's freedom and value, and it's called privacy. These are all good things. So you're right. There is no barrier to creating your own Bitcoin or you creating your own. Actually, I'll take that back. There is a barrier to you creating your own Bitcoin. There's no barrier to you creating your own cryptocurrency using the Bitcoin code. So shout out to Neil Kashkari for pointing that out. That's actually a good thing. And I would think an American will be behind freedom, but I'm assuming since you work for a private bank, that's why you're not. He added, while it's true anyone can spin up a digital asset easily, he didn't mention the power of network effects, which is what we were talking about. He did mention there are thousands of these garbage coins that have been created. Some of them are complete fraud Ponzi schemes. They dupe people into investing money, and then the founders rip them off. I agree with that as well. I wholeheartedly fully agree. I mean, ever since the summer of 2017, coins proliferated. It's way too many. And he does the same thing I do. He said, I always ask people, what problem are you trying to solve? And no one can articulate what the actual problem is. Again, I agree. I always ask from these projects, what are you doing that Bitcoin can't do? Usually they cannot articulate that. So he did make some good points, but he also shot himself in the foot as far as kind of saying like, yeah, it's just for criminals and prostitutes or whatever. Like, we're still doing that. How can you say it's only for criminals and prostitutes? But literally 3 seconds later, say, but anybody can create one. So if a 15-year-old creates one with another 15-year-old, they want to use it as a cryptocurrency for their school and their classmates. Are they prostitutes and drug lords and everything like that? No, it's just people using technology to do what they want. I love it. I love how technology is literally scaring people. This is software. This is software that is scaring people like this. Could you imagine if it was a warehouse full of guns that we just lost in a terrorist country? I mean, I couldn't even imagine that. We're talking about software though. Like, software is what ruffles their feathers, as they say, right? Not actually spending a bunch of money, a bunch of taxpayer money, which we could have used to buy Bitcoin, or we could have literally, the money we spent on this fraudulent war and weapons of mass destruction, we could have used that money and just didn't do anything with it. Literally just kept it in a vault. And today we would still have more money than what we had in the last 20 years. I mean, I just got to keep harping on this. They're scared and they hate software, but they're not scared to go fight people we don't know for 20 years straight and use a bunch of money just to have the same gang we were fighting take back over in 72 hours, 96 hours. Mind blowing. But the technology and software is what's dangerous out there. Like, you all keep listening to the government. I love it. Crypto Culture, thanks for the tip. Said, if I, quote, did participate in that BitDAO auction, thank God to that white hacker, LOL, because I got my cones now. There we go. You got to tell us how that auction actually went. Let's see. All right. Let's see. G-Man says, threatens their power. It could be toy trucks. You already know it can be something very simple. But here's what everything's really about, right? We went to that story a little bit longer than I expected. A lot of these bills and what's coming out, I like how Jake Chervinsky kind of points out. Treasury Department wants to capture DeFi with infrastructure bill. Looks like General Counsel to Compound Labs, Jake Chervinsky, has warned that the Treasury Department wants to capture the DeFi sector through the crypto provisions added to the infrastructure bill. Now, this is the funny part. Everyone keeps doing it in these big positions. All these big organizations, they keep doing this. While Chervinsky seemed willing to give most elected officials the benefit of the doubt, noting that previous discussions surrounding the infrastructure bill had nothing to do with crypto, he attributed more sinister motives to the Treasury Department's role in influencing the legislative process. Now, if you remember, the crypto tax provisions you see here were announced just 9 days prior to when it was expected to pass through the Senate. 9 days. It's supposed to be a democracy. That doesn't sound very democratic to me. But he's quoted as saying, this is all about DeFi. This is the Treasury Department trying to work out how to get jurisdiction over DeFi and also expand his warrantless surveillance over a peer-to-peer financial system. He is essentially saying that the Treasury Department was looking for an alternate way to invoke the harsh reporting requirements over former Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin has sought to impose on self-custody crypto wallets. I actually agree with this. If you remember, they already talked about these self-custody crypto wallets, they're calling them, or centralized crypto wallets and stuff. They only want you to use wallets from places like Coinbase, Gem, like places they can really track it, right? They do not want you to have your own wallet. We talked about this, and I think I'm fully agreeing with him. He's quoted saying, we found out very quickly that it wasn't just a sinner's misunderstanding. The Treasury Department had played an important role in drafting the language and also ensuring that any revision we propose is going back to the Treasury Department for their approval or rejection. Again, I mean, you can read more about this, but this is something we kind of been saying. This is where the industry is going. This is where regulators are going. They do want to figure out how to control DeFi. And again, it's like playing whack-a-mole. And that's why we keep saying it's a waste of taxpayer money to even try to regulate it, because they were trying to regulate Bitcoin. Then a bunch of other cryptocurrencies came out, right? Thousands of others used for drugs and prostitution, and you can make one and I can make one, right? Then they try to regulate that. Then it was NFTs. Oh, what are we, NFTs? Or actually, I missed one. Before NFTs, it was ICOs. Trying to regulate ICOs, turn them to STOs, right? Security token offerings. Then everybody was like, no, we're not going to play your game. We're not doing STOs. We're just not going to do anything. We'll do an airdrop. Then you got airdrops. You got NFTs. And now you literally have DeFi protocols and platforms where you can do everything you can do in the traditional financial system in cryptocurrency. So I agree. I think they're trying to figure out how to control DeFi. They're going to do it through the wallet and onboarding and offboarding fiat process. It wouldn't surprise me here in the next year or two, you start seeing and hearing things like like maybe they won't blanket wallets are illegal, but they will say having a private wallet on your phone might be illegal, right? Having wallets from these platforms may be illegal. And the platforms are all self-hosted wallets. I feel like they'll start doing things like that where they might not come out and directly say it, but they will say, yeah, this Fed coin, which is the only recognized legal stable coin in cryptocurrency in the United States, can only be used through these wallets, right? Only be used through Apple Pay, through Google. So I do see something like that coming out of the pipe, because that's the only way they can even try to control it. But the funny thing is, after that happens, once they start to do that, literally something new is just going to, like, it's open source technology and everyone's sharing. They're really not understanding where we're at with this right now. Vitalik Buterin created Ethereum at the age of 17 or 19 or something. Like, are you not listening to me? There's nothing you can do. It's already too late. If anything, there is one thing you can do. Stop fighting it and start welcoming it. That way we can figure out how to self-regulate it. We can figure out the people in the industry what we agree with and disagree with. Let's see, our project experience. Oh, thank you for the big tip. This is some Solana love. Again, thanks for the insight. Thank you for the big tip. I'm assuming you did pretty good on that Solana trade. So that's what I'm talking about. Too much for you, okay? Said all that would do is drive crypto underground. Yes, I agree as well. There we go. Shout out to Urban X TV. All right, gotta check that out. Thanks, Natty. Another long-running show that deserves respect on their name. Shout out to them. There it is. Let's see. Go ahead and look at some of these comments. Jay Dean, you already know this song. We're not gonna take it. We are not gonna take this, man. This is crazy. And yes, Rashu, when I'm in front of the government, when I'm in front of regulators, I'm literally going to ask them in a straight face, where did the software touch you? Like, I wanted, how old were you all? I'm going to ask them a straight face. Like, I really need to know the story. Like, what did Bitcoin do to you? Like, you can talk, you all regulators, you all can talk to me. I understand. I'm here for the trauma. I get it. There we go. Too much for you. Okay, said it's called capitalism. You already know it. That's what all it really is. I can't be mad at that. All right, and last but certainly not least, go ahead and talk about Ukraine. Ukraine ministry is considering digital currency pilot for staff salaries. People, do not get lost in the sauce, right? They're telling you about the bills, the infrastructure things, what's a self-hosted and a regular wallet. They're trying to add these narratives. They try to add these buzzwords. And then you got people like Neil Kashkari, a person who's a president of the bank, saying, yeah, I remember when I was looking at crypto 6 years ago. You want to know? Okay, all right. You want to know those guys? Like, yes, yeah. I remember I heard of Bitcoin too back in 2010, 2011. I decided, $50 is too high of a price. I wanted to wait until it was 20K or 45K. Like, all right. Paying ministry employees and I can't even say the word. Paying ministry employees in a made-up cryptocurrency that Neil Kashkari would not approve of could be a suitable first pilot for the central bank digital currency currently in development here in Ukraine. Mikhail Fedorov, a shout out to Sergey Fedorov back in the day, them Red Wings, from Detroit. Them Red Wings used to take them championships in the 90s. Had Sergey, Chris Osgood and those boys. Mikhail Fedorov, Ukraine's deputy prime minister and the head of the country's Ministry of Digital Transformation, has revealed a possible early use case for the nation's planned central bank digital currency. In a recent interview published by the Ukrainian media outlet TSN, the minister revealed considerations within the ministry to test out the CBDC by using the electronic currency in staff salary payments. Frankly, as one of the first pilots, we have on the table the question of paying salaries to employees of the Ministry of Digital Transformation and Electronic Hervina, whatever it's called. So essentially, as the story says, they're going to pay their employees in CBDCs. They want to test it. I think they're doing this the wrong way right now. I think it would be, it may work out better for them in other countries who plan to do this if they actually airdrop it first, use it as deals and giveaways or wherever places you can actually use it at. So let's say you're talking about paying for it in salaries. Well, partner with a gas company or something like, or I don't know if you have your in-house, like at your company, is it a store down there where people buy stuff? Is it a store next door where people buy stuff? I think it makes more sense for these companies to airdrop and to partner with the local gas station, partner with local stores or their lunch room, wherever they have going on, so people can actually get comfortable and start using it. Because if you just airdrop people value, a value that no one else actually deems valuable or accepts as value, then all they're going to do is sell it out. It's the same thing like we literally did with Bcash. The Bcash airdrop, like as the airdrop happened, the sell button was already primed and ready to go, right? I think it was like, however many, a couple thousand airdrop that happened. But my point is I see the same thing happening to this. If you airdrop a shit coin, people are literally just going to swap it out for their coin that they want, their cryptocurrency that they want, or for people who aren't even in crypto, they're going to swap it out for fiat. But the good thing about this, it is a base hit. I think as Ukraine starts to work on this, they will figure it out. They, even if it's in bits, right? They just say, hey, we're just giving you 1% of your salary and Harvina CBDC, or even, we're not even going to attribute this to your salary. We're just going to give it to you anyway as a bonus. We'll pay bonuses in the CBDC. I do think it eventually will work. While Ukraine might not be the ones to crack the code, someone will. Other countries will look at how Ukraine's doing it, but this is coming, people. CBDCs are coming. I wouldn't be surprised if here in the next few years, we're in the States getting paid with FedCoin. They're like, hey, you want your money direct? You want it right now? Sign up for FedCoin. That's going to be the thing right there. Like, you don't want to wait 2 weeks to get paid. You want to get paid every day. You want to get paid as you're working. You want to stream sats. Every time you're on the clock, every time you punch in, you're getting paid as you go. Well, you can do it with our CBDC FedCoin. And I'm telling you, overnight, people about to sign up. Only way to get this FedCoin is through Bank of America, JP Morgan, and it's going to be OB after that. All right, other than that, that is the show for the day. I actually didn't mean to go this long, but there's so much good stuff going on in the, somebody said, oh, you mean China? So much good stuff going on in the space, can't help it. But yeah, we will see what happens with this. Let's see. PFC Wells said flash loans happen in seconds. Good luck with that. You know what it is. Level 99 Slacker said they bought the top. Yeah, that sounds like some top, but somebody who bought the top as well. And yes, last but not least, hey, listen, make sure you get those likes up before I leave. If not, we're starting off the show tomorrow with an entire duet. I'm gonna get Bitcoin Zay here. We'll figure out a good song. I don't know, just the two of us or something. Get those likes up. Listen, we're just talking about a project that went up 80% in the last week. Can we get a like? Can I get a thumbs up, folks? Other than that is the show for today. As always, the masterclass is out. Just check out thegentlemanofcrypto.com. You can see masterclasses there. Clip High Reports is there as well. We have more good interviews coming for you. Again, Saturday will be the meetup in LA, Mondrian, LA from 8 p.m. to 12 a.m. And other than that, I will see you all tomorrow with some more crypto news. Cheers. Oh, and last but not least, check out the sponsored advertisement video we have after this coming live. Bitcoin Zay actually did it, and it was funny. I was like, man, you almost sold me on that video. He was like, it's actually a pretty fast platform, but of course, time will tell if the platform actually lasts the test of time. But go ahead and check it out, spectre.ai.